Let's get started. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dark, and this show is all built around Big Swole versus Diamante in the main event, a feud they've been building up on various episodes of Dark and Dark Elevation, and it was going to culminate in a 3 strikes match. And I'll cover that a little bit later in the review, since it's the main event. It'd be weird to do the show backwards. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. I'm also going to have a little bit more discussion about how they could utilize women a little bit better going forward on Dynamite and Rampage. Anyway, we get Lance Archer versus Jason Hutch, and he hutched to the ring, he hutched outside the ring with a dive, and then got chokeslammed on the apron, and then Archer beat him up and hit the blackout pretty damn quick. Let's move on. The Bunny with Penelope Ford versus Laney Luck. Luck be a bunny tonight. That sounds like a movie I saw once. Always delete your search history. Okay, I don't mind the, alliance between the Bunny and Ford. I'm going to say right now, Penelope has been improving, but as far as, having a great match, she's still not there. The Bunny, for as long as she's been wrestling, has a great personality and has presence, but her matches are really awkward to me. Laney Luck, I've seen a few times, and I've heard good things about, so hopefully she can be featured a little bit more later on. Laney did get a good reaction. Apparently she's from a nearby suburb of Chicago or just from a nearby city. And basically, Laney Luck went down the rabbit hole. Oh my. 4-3. There you go. Uno with Grayson and Colt versus 5 with Silver and 10. Dark Order explodes. Dark Order is fine. Dark Order. It's Dark Order Wolfpack. Dark Order, black and white. It's NWO black and white and NWO CT. It's just... This is nothing against the people involved, but I do not care about faction warfare. Faction warfare like this rarely works. And I know that some people are invested in the Dark Order, and I'm glad they're getting TV time because they all seem like nice guys and they're hard enough workers. I just don't care. I just don't. I'm sorry. There were Please Don't Fight chants, which was kind of nice. Shows the crowd was at least into it. Angels was fired up. Uno was conflicted until he hit a step spot and then basically hit something evil. And Weevil Uno got the victory. I'm going to call him Weevil Uno from now on. Well, not Weevil Uno because he weebles and he wobbles. He does fall down because he's a wrestler. You have to fall down eventually. And, all right, there we go. He didn't want to do it, but he beat him. So then we get Captain Shawn Dean and Robert Anthony versus The Acclaimed. Opening line of this rap has been approved by AEW management. I hope that Max Caster has learned his lesson, and him and Bowens are a good team. But, of course, then they start launching into some stuff, and he's like, I'll make you cry like that guy did for Phil. All right, I mean, that poor guy that was shown in the crowd on Rampage, that was crying because CM Punk made his return. That guy could have been, I mean, some people are doing it in good fun. Some people are doing it to mock the guy. Let me just say right now, that guy could have been having an absolutely shit 18 months. Maybe the pandemic hit him really hard, maybe whatever, and he got to see that wrestling show, and he got to see somebody he really liked back in there. He hasn't done anything. I mean, if he turns out to be an absolute piece of shit, let's make fun of him. But my God, just for crying at a wrestling show, there is crying in wrestling, because wrestling can be emotional. It can evoke all kinds of emotions, like rage that I have over certain things. I have rage because I've watched wrestling for way too goddamn long. I just want it to be good. But anyway, The Acclaim do this stuff, and then they win with the mic drop in a minute. Again, I hope Caster has learned his lesson. Lee Moriarty versus Joey Janello with some Amazon. I don't know who this Amazon is. She's beautiful, but I don't know who the hell she is. Let me say right now, Lee Moriarty, I see why people praise this guy. Holy fuck, somebody needs to scoop this guy up. I'm not saying I want him taken off the indies, because apparently he's really popular among the indies. But my goodness, some company needs to get this guy. He is good. He is really, really good. He also faced off against a guy who's not good. Joey Janela's just not good in the ring. He's just not. He hasn't been. He's never going to be. I've seen him live at a couple indie shows. And the best thing he did was come out to Enter Sandman and drink White Claws and everything and get about 500 people, singing Enter Sandman. So ripping off somebody else's entrance, and doing it infinitely worse. That being said, I can see why some people like him. I don't hate him as a person, but my God, he's just not good in the ring. Lee Moriarty did a lot of really good shit. And then, basically, Janela wins, and Sonny then attacks him and beats him up a little bit. Hopefully, we get Sonny versus Janela, and please, for the love of God, just have Sonny win, end this goddamn thing. Just do something with Sonny. You don't have to give him a championship. Just do something. Feature him on Dark and Dark Elevation a little bit more. Is he polished? I mean, he's a good athlete. He can do flippy shit. He's never going to be a world champion, at least not the way they're presenting him. But my God, just do something with him. You touted bringing him in. Do something with him. So anyway, Colt and Stu Grayson took on Travis Titan and RSP. Colt got a pop because Chicago. And hit the Chicago skyline in a few minutes, and there you go. Big Swole versus Diamante. 3 strikes match. Okay, pinfall, submission, and knockout. That's how you have to win the fall. If you win by pinfall, then you can only win by submission or knockout. You have to win 2 out. It's 2 out of 3 falls with different stipulations. Okay, that's not bad. And I want to say, full disclosure, I've been critical of Swole. I don't think Swole's that great in the ring, my personal opinion. I'm not knocking her as a person. Diamante, I've never been the biggest fan of her, but I recognize she also has talent. She probably could stand to not defend somebody like Tessa Blanchard, if you know what I mean. But I've been 50-50 on this feud, but I appreciate they're doing an undercard feud. Now, that being said, there is a trend on Twitter, trending topic among various people, wrestling fans, and I'm sure even independent wrestlers who are watching this, Black Wrestling Draws. It was a hashtag. And more diversity is needed, more prominent diversity, not just diversity, because it's like the thing I said about Sonny Kiss. It's like the thing I said about Lee Johnson, because Lee Johnson did get that match against Miro, but featuring people in the right way is the way you need to go. But the only way you're going to get there is if you start featuring people properly and pushing them and utilizing your talent roster and not going with 15, 20-minute TV matches when you can go 10. Yes, sure, some Nitro episodes, especially when they went 3 goddamn hours, please never do Dynamite at 3 hours. My whole point is even the 2-hour shows sometimes would have a couple matches that would go on a bit too long. Sometimes it would only have matches that would go a few minutes. But you utilize more talents, you give people a reason to be invested in them, and then you maybe do another match on Rampage. You have a reason to maybe have 4 matches. And sure, some of them might be short. You could have some recaps, but give us a reason to care about various people. And showing Big Swole and Diamante in a light like this, good. And I was really happy for Big Swole because you could tell this meant a lot to her. She has been dealing with the effects of Crohn's disease, I believe, and that is a debilitating issue. It's a condition that I know people that have. I'm not going to obviously expose their business here, but I've read up on it. I can imagine it's goddamn terrible. And they've been doing a good job building this feud. So now back to the match. The match itself was standard, but you could tell it meant a lot to the women, and they did go all out. Now, 2 out of 3 falls match on a YouTube show, you kind of have to ask why this wasn't on Dynamite. I'm not saying that you need to have 50-50 for the women. And, 50-50 for the women, and especially that kind of diversity. But if you don't even have it at, say, 40-60 on most occasions, what are you doing here, and why do you consider it to be all-inclusive when you're not? Feature people because of their talents, but also feature and show that you are a diverse company. So anyway, Swole got a big reaction. Diamante took a bad landing on some kind of powerbomb variation, which looked like she jacked her head. Hopefully she's all right. And then roll up with tights, 1, 2, 3. So Diamante goes up 1-0. Now it's submission or KO. Diamante grinds her down, and then he was focusing on the arm, doing all that, but then a sudden heel hook, and she's like, I can't get out of this. Got to tap out instantly, because then you save yourself for the next fall. And then, because it's by knockout, they get the weaponry and stuff like that. They get a kendo stick. The crowd was split at one point. There were some cheers for Diamante, and there were also cheers for Swole. And then we get a chain being whipped on a black woman, and I'm sorry, maybe could we have not done that? Could we have not? Whew. No wonder Cody decided to book for this company. Anyway, if you get it, you get it. So, they were at one point, the chain fell out of them, it fell out of Diamante's hand. They looked all shocked, and then they were pulling apart. They were doing tug of war. That's what I call chain wrestling. Assuming that everybody did not immediately shut off the video in disgust and throw their goddamn phones out the window. Don't do that second part. Eventually, she had the chain. Well, Big Swole got her own chain. Dirty Dancing, boom, and Diamante's out. Big Swole gets a victory, and good stuff. The people popped. This was nice. So hopefully, maybe feature the women a little bit more on Dynamite and Rampage. Build these feuds up right. Obviously, you have to give people a reason to watch Dark Elevation and Dark. But if you don't give people enough of a reason to care about the women's division, then you're just having women going out and doing moves and they're not getting reactions, and you are doing what WWE did with a lot of talented women from, like, say, 2007 to 2013 or 14, and it's just going to be in that just, quagmire, giggity. It's just going to be stuck there, and these women that are talented are going to have to fight, basically, for any kind of TV time. Sure, their women's division needs a lot of work, but if you don't put in the work and you don't feature them, then it's just a lost cause. I don't want it to be a lost cause. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.